Today we're going to talk about why diets fail. And there is one reason. It's shown over and over again in studies. It is lack of adherence and lack of consistency. And I know that is not what you want to hear, because everyone who's tried to diet or make a change, it is easy to get to a point where you get frustrated. I tried really hard, I did the thing, and it was supposed to work out, but it didn't. So the diet wasn't working for me, it didn't do a good job. The unfortunate thing is that all diets work. And this has just been shown over and over again, is that diets stop working because people stop doing them. Even the idea of hitting a plateau and a pause period generally means that you are not making the consistent changes or adjusting within the same framework of that diet. So it's not that the diet isn't working, it's that lack of consistency and patience with the process. So that begs the question of, why are people lacking consistency and not sticking to the plan? A lot of that goes back into the expectations you set for yourself and what you think is realistic. And in today's day and age, when you don't see the behind the scenes, you just see the Instagram picture or the magazine cover or your friend that's losing all this weight on some new diet she just switched to. We don't know the behind the scenes, so we're just left to fill that in for ourselves. And that leads to frustration and thinking, well, maybe there's a better choice, or maybe what I'm doing isn't working, so I should switch it up and try something different. And that is exactly a fast road to hitting pause in what you're doing, stopping, and eventually just restarting. And it becomes this up and down yo-yo thing that never really gets you where you want to be. A big thing people go into when they're trying to diet is it's all about willpower. If I just try harder and diet harder and work harder and eat less, I'll get the results I want. But willpower is just not gonna get you there. Willpower is cheap. It's like motivation. Yeah, you can look at something that makes you feel better in the moment, but it's not sustainable to keep you going long term. You have to focus on creating the sustainable change in your environment, your behaviors, the inputs, and the things you have around yourself, and your motivation, your why, if you really want to see that. People go in with this all or nothing mindset. I'm just going to focus, I'm going to do it all, today is the day, I'm going to start fresh, it's January 1st, I'm going to do it this year. And the problem is that leads to the I'm doing it all, I'm doing nothing. I'm doing it all, I'm doing nothing. And then there's this up and down thing that averages out into a net zero gain. Until, unfortunately, they give up and just say, well, I'm done. So it's not like your body has metabolic damage. It just learns what you're doing and resists you and gets smart about the whole idea. So every time you try and lose weight, your body just learns it. So it's not damaged at all. It's just getting used to the fact that you quit instead of just being consistent with it. Instead of the all or nothing mindset, thinking about always something is going to be a huge step forward. Thinking about the overall decisions you make as a scale or a dial where you turn up the effort on times when you have the space, the opportunity. Let's say you travel a lot and you are in town this week. That's the time when you can turn the dial up, but turn up the intensity on your workouts, focus a little more strict on your exercise and your eating and your self-care and your lifestyle. Great. When you go and travel, it doesn't mean you turn it off and wait till it's a less busy season. It means you turn it down, you adjust to what you have. But if there's always something, you're always going to be moving forward. And so as much as we want to look and blame the diet for not working and see maybe there's a different diet or my friend's trying this new thing, it's never going to work if you keep hopping from different diets. The problem is not the diet. It's the environment you have, it's the relationships you have, it's the decisions you make or the lack of decisions, the lack of planning. It's on you to take responsibility for that and understand that it is not complex. It's just a matter of saying no to the things that aren't serving you well and saying yes to the things that are. It's not an all or nothing, it's an always something. You're just turning up and down the dial in response to what's going on, but you're always moving forward. Even if you just take a tiny step forward each day, you're still moving that way. That is always better than stopping and just turning it off and working backwards. So focus on that as you get frustrated and as you move into any type of period where you're not seeing the weight loss you want. Turn the dial up or down, adjust to what you need, and make the changes you need to do and be consistent with it. You'll see the results eventually.